Hi boys and girls, today we are going to be starting our superhero words project. Once you have finished doing your practice bubble letters, I chose the word boo and I practiced it on my how-to bubble letter paper, and now I'm ready to go onto my good paper. The first thing you want to do when you're going onto your good paper is write your word very lightly so that you know it will fit. If we draw too dark, it's going to be very hard to erase. So I'm going to draw my word as big as I want it. That's another thing too, make sure it fits. Make sure they're spaced out. Okay, and now I'm going to bubble letter it. Just like it says on this paper, I wrote lightly. Now I'm going to surround my letter with a bubble. And make sure you don't forget if any of your letters have an inside to bubble the inside too, like that. It's okay if you mess up a little bit. We're going to trace it in Sharpie later, so we can always fix that when that happens. Okay, now that your letter is drawn, you can trace all your lines in Sharpie. Now if you look, the only thing that I didn't trace was the light letter that I drew inside of my bubble letters. That is because we are going to erase that. And you'll also see that I erased any lines that went outside of my Sharpie lines, just to make sure it's nice and neat. Now the next step is that we are going to cut each letter out separately. We don't want it to be one big piece. We want a B separate, an O separate, and an O separate, or whatever letters that you are doing. Now, if you have letters that have centers that you need to cut out, you can fold your paper and make a little cut and then cut all the way around, but I don't like to fold my letters because then they might get creased. What I like to do is take a hole punch and make sure it reaches, you can see where the hole's gonna cut. Make sure it reaches to the inside of your letter and punch 2, maybe 3 holes in a row. See, that one doesn't reach. The line is right in the middle of the hole. So I want to find a spot on here where it reaches, or I might have to bend this one. I'm going to bend that one. Let's see if this one reaches. There we go. Sometimes you can only get one hole, and that's okay. It still helps. Now, with the holes punched, you just stick your scissor in that hole and cut out the inside. Okay, now that my letters are cut out, all of my scraps need to go in the trash, and then you're going to glue these letters onto a white piece of paper. Or you can choose black. So for this section, we're choosing white or black paper to glue it onto. When you are gluing, it is important to make sure that you don't turn your glue up all the way, because why? Why do we need to do that? We just need a little bit of glue sticking out, and then if it runs out, we can always turn more out. You're going to put your glue on the back of the letter, not onto the white or black sheet that you chose. So when we glue, we always put it on the back of what we're gluing, so we know that the whole piece has glue on it. If we would put it on the background paper, there would be too much glue, the paper would be sticky, and it would end up looking very messy. And now that that's done, you're going to take your Sharpie and you are going to make a line around your letters to make them connect as one piece. There's an example of this up on the board, but I'm going to show you what I mean right now. You take your Sharpie and you just hover near the letter, and as you come to the next letter, you move over that one. You do not go between the letters. If you are on the edge of the page, you can draw right on the edge of the page like I just did, and follow your letters all the way around to make one big bubble. We're not doing the B in a bubble and an O in a bubble and an O in a bubble. We're making one big bubble around our whole word, whatever word you chose. Once that is done, you are going to cut it out. And if you're ready to move on to the next step, that's in another video. Bye.